Sometimes people are asking me, how did we end up developing an expertise in e-commerce accounting when most of the accountants don't really like to deal with e-commerce? In this video, I will tell you the story. Hi, welcome to ATHENASIA. In this video, I will tell you the story of our e-commerce services. So back in 2012, when I started ATHENASIA, I was not offering any accounting services. I was basically offering business planning and performance management consulting. And it's only 2 years later that I ended up doing business services, so doing company incorporation, company secretary, and accounting. So as you can imagine, for 2 years, I needed my own accountant. So I hired somebody and I just went with the normal industry at the time. So at the time, what happened is that the accountant tend to charge per transaction. So my package back then was not bad for that time, but it was definitely not great compared to now. But I was paying 500 Hong Kong dollars per month for 10 transactions. That's 120 transactions a year, and that cost me like 6,000 Hong Kong dollars per year, plus 5,000 Hong Kong dollars audit fee. So that was an $11,000 package for basically 120 transactions and a minuscule accounting, because I was not that successful, which is why eventually I pivoted to something else. So that was the beginning of the story. After I pivoted to business services, I started to offer all these services, and I had to develop my own pricing and my own offering. And what I chose to do back then is to offer basically to offer something which I wanted to buy as an entrepreneur, something that made sense to me. So it really pisses me off that I had to pay so much for the accounting, because every transaction was like basically 50 Hong Kong dollars. If I go to a networking event and I spend like 200 Hong Kong dollars that day, I'm really thinking, do I still have enough transaction for the month, or do I really want to put 50 Hong Kong dollars extra just to enter this expense? And I don't think that's the way we should think as entrepreneurs. So I created all-inclusive package that priced in function of the turnover and not the amount of transaction. And that was a big revolution kind of thing in the industry, because now you could enter as many transactions as you wanted and you had a fixed price. So that was really interesting. And we started this way. So when I launched my services for accounting and setup and everything, what I wanted is to create a package that I would buy, because I used to be a customer and now I was a provider. So I wanted a package that was all-inclusive. I didn't want to have an atomized price list, and I didn't want to pay per transactions. So what I did all-inclusive package based on the turnover. And this is something that makes sense for entrepreneurs, because you want to put as much transaction as you want on the business. So obviously, over time, it started to attract e-commerce, because they're like, hey, we have a crazy amount of transactions. So if this guy could actually do our accounting based on the turnover, is quite attractive. So we got our first e-commerce clients. And initially, what we did, we started to work with aggregation. We use a few aggregation tricks to actually do the accounting and improve also the sampling for the auditors. So we found a few tricks to help them. And eventually, we started to be more and more reliant on technology. So we started to be, we were one of the first one in Hong Kong to work with Xero, which is an accounting software which helps you to actually integrate with a whole bunch of things, such as your bank account, Amazon store, etc. So inventory. And we were also the first one in Hong Kong to use A2X. So A2X was actually a plugin that helps you to integrate with Amazon. So your Xero and your Amazon. And because we got more and more e-commerce clients, we started to get more referrals in the industries, and we started to develop our expertise more and more, trying different things, using different integrations. And basically, this became one of the main type of clients we deal with. Nowadays, most of the competition don't charge you per transaction fees for the e-commerce. It became the norm that everybody will charge based on the turnover. And therefore, we became like more normal. However, we got an advance with the e-commerce experience, because we have developed a certain know-how. And then now we keep pushing this one. The craziest project we had so far was 52 different Shopify shops under the same company. And we basically integrated everything into Xero. So nowadays, although the industry catch up and most of the accountants are now charging based on turnover, not based on the amount of transaction, we kept an edge in e-commerce. Nowadays, we do integrations with Amazon, with Shopify, banking, inventory. We can actually integrate all that into something that makes sense. Nowadays, we help our clients with all sorts of integration. We can work with Amazon, with Shopify, with even WordPress. We can do integrations with the bank account. We can do integration with the inventories. We can solve some complex problem for e-commerce. We can handle large-scale e-commerce. So this is basically what we became really good at in ATHENASIA. Obviously, we can do the other type of business because they are simpler, but this one became a bit of a staple for us. So if you're interested, if you too, you're an e-commerce owner and you are looking for somebody that can help you in Hong Kong to do your accounting, or even outside Hong Kong, we can also help you if you're still based somewhere else, and you use a GAAP or IFRS accounting standard. You can just get back to us and send us an email at info@athenasia.com and we'll see how we can help you. Thanks for watching the video and I will see you in the next one.